have to.
Shh!
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for
No,
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh,
wait!
Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit!
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
overworked? I've said—
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside!
Huh?
Just do as you're told, and not another—
wow. What a horrible person.
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de... Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
Oh, shoot. It all makes sense.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh,
Paimon will join you. 'Cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name—
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just... This is a small token from us. It's some...
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it.
Thank you, friend.
a little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become—
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on! Huh? Hold on, there's something written up. Find Escoffier.
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
So, who is this Escoffier, anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history. After the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu, but none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility, and she was sent to the Fortress of Meripede.
The Fortress of Meripede?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out. It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes? You'd have had more sense serving hot. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom.
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by their...
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are...
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us.
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can get...
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh,
For what? Like I s-
Firmont. That's the second time we've heard that.
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia!
I've told you before.
No one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So, you two must be the world-famous traveler and her companion.
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We are here.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe.
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look,
She mentioned me.
whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open.
Oh, Monica. I can't believe her! Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Unbelievable! I won't stand for this.
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her wait.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I messed up your...
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
But...
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't... If you want forgiveness, then do what...
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen.
that's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Firmont had to put up with, then no wonder he had to break.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway.
Oh, well,
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that Lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guards' list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. And now look at you. A fry chef in the...
What are you trying to say? Sure,
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great.
Monica, besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately,
If only...
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as So, Escoffier?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned the...
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do You're not the boss here anymore.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell?
That's none of your...
What happened to not Starmie?
Ho ho! I was not expecting.
Huh? Fan Asian?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare...
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking
According to legend, the founders of Hôtel de Bord, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their...
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you...
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hôtel de Bord anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savannah?
Exhibition. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Bord to me.
What? The Codex de Bord?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Bourg. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Bourg have the right.
Present and former? Wait, but that already includes the...
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't...
Don't take me for a fool. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right?
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the... And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Bourg, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you...
You sound surprisingly... Alright then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll...
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her term.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just...
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound...
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay. That's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hotel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world, especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hotel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come.
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hotel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then? Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their...
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the code?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Venegem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So what? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem.
What? Huh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our Gâteau do the talking. It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula. However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants.
Well, that's easy.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally...
Oh, count me in too. I've spent... Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skill.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a...
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used it.
The device isn't cold enough yet. I need to reduce the temperature. done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now. Slowly and carefully. That didn't count. I was... that didn't... that didn't... that... that did... that didn't... And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible, considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, but the Traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first... Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your That's right.
I guess I'm finally on the right path.
How's it going? Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now...
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but...
6 points.
What? Oh...
That's 6 out of 100.
What?
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Me next! I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aww.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last hope.
8 points. Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10.
What? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. No.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square.
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining.
Chef Escoffier!
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. I know I've been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Boer kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's...
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Boer?
I have not, but I'm full... Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't seem to grip...
Do it again! 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 Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad! What's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then
Dad, talk to me.
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help.
She sounds like the worst. Alright, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it.
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out or get out!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flash.
Oh, man.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination.
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back,
I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little. Maybe Savannah was right.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another...
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you... Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect...
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the
Actually, I thought maybe I could help.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... Well, this is the
You do this for us?
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's alright. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promise.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food if you're alive. That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
Why, Savannah? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original codex. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her hands on it. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing. Yeah, maybe. Still, we were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fermat and the other staff so much grief. Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex. Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savannah. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends. Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow, then.
It's cooking contest day! To the hotel.
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hôtel de Bord and to this most exciting of cooking contests.
Savannah, I brought the original copy of the codex you asked.
Monica?
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet...
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hôtel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Monica, Traveler, it's go time! Even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse! Gaspar! Get to work! Do not disappoint me!
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
Bon appetit! An inspired melange! Bon appetit! Yeah! 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 Ha! That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavors. Stay calm, Scofier. There has to be a way to balance the flavors. Just think.
Come on, Escoffier! Come on, traveler!
No recipe, no problem. Yeah! Yeah! Ja! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Bon appetit!
Alphonse! What are you playing at? That's not how I taught you to do it! Stop horsing around and do it again!
Yes, chef!
Oh.
The balance of flavors is about right. But the quantity is too low. For goodness sake, Savannah, what are you doing? Oh, get it. I've got to focus on my own dish.
So, what do you think?
Ja! Yeah! La! Ja! Ha! Bra! Yeah! La!
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's...
What are you doing, Escoffier? Your team's waiting on you.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
Enough! Oh, useless! Both of you, make like an egg and beat it!
Wow! Is Savannah serious? Can she really make...
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg. I was just exercising caution. I had to make sure everything was perfect.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make Gâteau de Bourg.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10! Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really?
Alright, on to gâteau number 2. I
have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding...
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all...
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but no way is she this sloppy.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking
What? It's... Savannah?
No!
Hey, Savannah! You cheated! What did you do? Oh...
Well, someone's a sore loser. It was Vanishem's. Isn't it more likely that a...
You take
judges! Wait a minute! That's enough! As head chef, or rather, Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're
If you want the Codex de Bourg that much... Scoffier, no! But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms.
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled... but only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on yourself.
Fine. So, will that be all, ex-head
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing.
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier!
The Codex de Bourg! Finally.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is...
It's alright. It was just a bake-off. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and...
No. No!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on...
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
But why? Why would she do that?
Our best guess is... she doesn't want to be seen as...
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the...
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time.
Leone and Argalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it to...
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself. Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad?
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plate. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
I'm sorry. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Calm down, Monica. I've already... Whatever's going on with you, just spill...
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going to... But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail...
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you did...
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer. This wasn't the only factor, so you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that. Any more than you need to add butter when you're pan-searing foie gras.
You mean...
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and... Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to...
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to...
Ugh. What happened to me?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night. determined to match Escaffier's version. But something's always slightly off every—
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought, though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever—
She wants to prove that she can fill Escaffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escaffier.
Doubting Escaffier? For what?
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escaffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the
Oh, for goodness sake. What is
Of course. Then she finally got the codex, only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once. It overwhelmed her, and she passed out.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, she might not be on the same level as Escaffier, but surely after like 50 attempts she'd get it right.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escaffier are in a league of...
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escaffier at that?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe